God damn it! Welcome back. Welcome back, Tocayo. Juan Marante.
I was going to ask you something else on that.
All right, yeah, we were talking beer.
You know how in school they had the litmus test? And
Yeah.
you're like, hey,
Yeah.
some kids can taste it, some can't. Well, I don't know if it's a bad brew thing or if it's just not enough skill yet as a brewer to make certain beers.
Right.
But I've been at breweries that weren't exactly like top notch, but like they're good neighborhood hangouts or whatever. But I'll drink something like this
Right.
that tastes good the moment you drink it, but then it has a chemical aftertaste.
Yes, that's probably an off flavor, and it's probably not as clean. They should have left it in the tank a little bit longer. Lagering is what they say, is what they call it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not even kidding. Some brewers that are really talented can't pick up on off flavors.
Really?
On certain off flavors. Dude, for instance, one of our best brewers couldn't pick up on this particular off flavor. It's called diacetyl, and he just couldn't pick up on it. So every time that he brewed a beer, it's something that you have to catch before the next step. And so before he got into that next step, he would actually pass it around. And like, hey, can you guys tell me if this has the diacetyl? Because I can't pick it up. And everyone's like, look, what do you mean you can't pick it up? He's like, no, I'm not sensitive to it. Some people are hypersensitive to it. So like if you go to a brewery and the brewer is either can't pick it up or doesn't have too much of a sensitivity to it, and you come in to taste his beers and stuff, and you're like, yo, whoa, there's something off here. He might not know it. He might just not taste it.
Well, I just found my career #1 diacetyl tester.
Beer
I will
taster.
fly to all the breweries around the United States to make sure it's good before they're all finalized.
Are you serious about that?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
serious about that? If you got a call, after this episode, and people are like, hey guy, Juan, it's us from Firestone.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's us over here from Dogfish Head. Hey, we heard that you're ready to do this.
Yeah.
Good?
You fly, I'll try, bro. Let's go.
Brother, we're here at Fall, North Park, 30th Avenue, the OG Fall. This is like your love language everywhere you go. This is great beer, great art. You've never been here, right?
Never. And I can't believe that it's been around as long as it has because I was still in the state, apparently. I thought this place was like, oh, yeah, it's like 2 years old.
No.
It's like, no, I was already living in Orange County and never even, like, I had heard of Fall Brewery, but I had no idea where it was. And the real excuse was my kids were freaking tiny little terrors.
Yeah.
1 and 3. I had no life. It was like, go to work, drop them
You
off.
drank a lot of beer, but at home. It's
Yeah.
like, man, I gotta just.
And then with COVID, I had to do like parking lot kumbayas with all my neighbors, like, hey, let's sit in a circle. Let's start a fire pit right here. Like,
That's pretty sick, though.
yeah, it was amazing.
Rad Dad's Club.
I lived
at you.
I lived in this area for like 4 years, and nobody ever talked to me. They would be like, hey, what's up? Like hellos. It wasn't until COVID that like I got to meet.
Was it a you thing or
all
was
my
it a
neighbors.
men thing?
It was a me thing because I would sit outside and like paint. Like I was painting a Steve McQueen painting on like the burros. The burros.
Yeah.
And I was like,
carpenter.
yeah, this is like a 5-foot painting, and I'm just there drinking beers, and dude would walk by, and like COVID was already happening, so he was like, hey, like, do you mind if I like come a little closer to see the thing? I'm like, come as close as you want, come as close as you want. And then, so that was for like 2 days. I finished the painting, and then like next day he would come home. This guy is super rad. His name's Aaron. He was a lawyer. He would come home from work and see me outside. I wasn't even painting anymore. I was just sitting outside watching my oldest kid riding his bike with like training wheels around the parking lot.
Yeah.
And I would just be in a lawn chair drinking beers, and and like he ended up coming out one day, and then fast forward. I don't exactly remember how it all happened, but fast forward like a week, and we had like 4 dads, and we were all sitting in lawn chairs talking shit every day. And I was like,
kidding? You're
that's
the
what it
exact guy that I would want to move in the neighborhood. I'd be like, dude, I'm stuck over here with
Dude.
lame dads that
I
don't talk
know.
to each other, dude. Weed whacking all day.
Yeah, and everyone had their own hobbies. Like this one dude had an arsenal, and I was like, "Can you bring an M16 over here?" And he's like, "I don't think it'd be like, I don't think neighbors would be stoked if they saw it." And I was like, we'll go see it in your garage then. And he's like, yes.
It's like Pleasantville. Almost.
Yes.
Like you came in there like if you were
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands, everyone's all
Oh
about you.
yeah. And meanwhile, this was like season 6 of The Walking Dead, where they're like killing off everybody with baseball bats, and I was like, dude. I'm like, the end of the world is happening. And I was like, I'm going to go hang out with that guy more. I'm like, if anything breaks down with this COVID stuff,
Yeah,
I know
man.
it's like, yeah, it was avian flu or, like
Well,
bacon flu or whatever. And
But you were this is an OC, right?
this was in Orange.
Well, this
Yeah.
is Orange. It's different. It was different. California reacted way differently than where you're at now.
Oh, yeah.
What
yeah.
do you think now? Well, you're in North Carolina now.
I'm in North
but
Carolina now. I don't know how it went down there.
Probably not.
But I remember moving to Oklahoma shortly after, and it was like nothing was ever happening, which I understand both sides of it, because we were
Right.
very careful. We got vaccinated. We did the mask thing or everything. But, like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm claustrophobic. Wearing those masks would hurt my ears. I'd be like, I was having a lot of like semi panic attacks all the
Yes,
time,
dude.
because
That
I
was
would
the
get
most
hot. I couldn't
unnatural thing
breathe. and-
ever.
yeah. So once the vaccines came out and I got vaccinated, I was like a chicken Mardi Gras. I was like, la la la. I'm like, I'm free, man.
Beats,
So,
just
like,
walking around beats, dude.
yeah.
One of the crazy parts about that is that it's not weird to feel that way at all. Literally, the one thing that's as natural as needing to eat is breathing. So anything that's going to impede that on any scale for a long time is going to biologically, it's just going to make you paranoid and anxiety ridden. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's not like wearing a cask. It's like you're messing with my breathing.
Yeah.
Like this is like something this is kind of what we do. We breathe.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, so it was kind of wild. But yeah, dude. So you're an Orange. You become the cool dad on the block.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. And then you moved to Oklahoma. You know, you were already on the show when it was dedicated to the craft. So welcome to the boil over. Dude,
Bam.
we got so much to get into, but before that,
Insert a sticker on my finger right there, the boil over sticker.
Rick can do that. Rick can do that. He can do it all. He can do it all. Brother, Reed just got finished right next door, a couple of doors down. Reed just got back from the Friendly Burger, and everybody talks. Everybody, if you know, you know. It's one of those things, right? You
Legit.
had never had a Friendly Burger.
It was legit.
A dirty, flat top.
No condiments, just cheese, double patties, fried onions.
Brother,
A delight.
and then the place is rad. I mean, I took you over there. It's just chill. The crew is just kind of, they're just cool. Like you're just like, all right, they're cool and they know it kind of
Yeah.
deal. It has that weird like hole in the wall vibe. Wu-Tang is playing on full blast.
That's what I'm talking
You know what
about.
I mean? And then on top of that, they have beer right there, hams. They have fall. Our boys have fall there. Tecate rojo, dude. And so I told you, I can't say this for a lot of things, but I never get nervous over hyping the Friendly Burger. Like sometimes, like even I'm talking about a movie or a show,
Yeah.
all right, I better kick back. It might be a me thing. I just might like it too much, and they're gonna watch it and go like, what the fuck was Jeff talking about? This shit sucks.
Yeah.
Friendly, 10 out of 10, baby. Every single person that I've been like, dude, it's game changer. They're like, I don't know, I'll see about that. I'm from the East Coast, and over there we have the, and then you shut up. They're like, all right, okay.
That's how it
All
was.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't wrong, man. You weren't wrong. And it's such a simple recipe that you can't mess it up. It's like this is what you're gonna get, and it's gonna taste like this every single fucking time. You know, like
we got a pie here too. Look, we got a nice pepperoni pizza
Lord
all to
have
ourselves.
mercy.
Jeff, you're supposed to open it towards the camera.
oh,
Let me do that again. Hold on.
Feel.
How about
Feel.
we get Juan to do it?
oh yeah.
Juan, you do it.
Second,
You do it.
yeah.
You do it.
Here we
This
go.
is like I'm standing outside a limo in New York.
Oh,
Look, the Moscas are even here.
Yeah, dude, your pizza.
Oh.
sir.
there we go.
That-
There it
Look
is.
at that shit. Look at that shit. That's fucking good.
That's where the NSFW warning comes up on screen right now.
Not
Yeah.
safe for work, dude.
Oh, man, they make a mean pie too. So let's go, dude. Handle business, dude. Get us.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
We got some grated cheese.
I like the pizza that you can just kind of like fold. I'm a big fan of.
Yeah,
full
this
wing
is
pizza.
very New
You
York
can't really do that
style.
with a lot. Can't do that with the DiGiorno.
No.
We can't do that with the DiGiorno, dude.
I've been cooking some pizzas on the Uni Grill, and that's fun.
Oh, you got a Noonie grill, sir?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
excuse
the
us.
family likes to make their own pies. One of my kids was like, "Poppy, can we make a peanut butter and jelly pie?" And I was like, "No, but I can make you a peanut butter and chicken and like scallions and like we'll turn that thing into a Thai pie." And he was like, "What is all that?" I'm like, "Let me make it for you." And yo, a pleasant surprise. Thank God, California Pizza Kitchen stole my idea before that.
You
Just
would've-
kidding.
dude, you would've- do they? Do they have a tie? Do they have a tie?
Dude,
I
they
haven't been to
do. Yeah,
California
I had
Pizza
it there
in so
first,
long,
and I
dude.
was like, "This is the food of the gods." I was like, "This is amazing." And I was like, "Are you kidding?" I was like, "Dude."
Bro, you got all the gizmos and gadgets.
Yeah.
The Noonie grill. You have the Blackstone.
Yeah.
The Blackstone's a game changer.
It's when
bro.
you're stuck at home and wifey's doing something fun somewhere else. I mean, we take turns. She'll travel somewhere and like do something fun, and then I'll travel somewhere and do something. Well, hers is not so much fun. It's for work,
Yeah.
but she'll throw some fun in there. She likes a nice rosé and like nice food. She just went to London.
crazy.
Yeah, she
You
just
went
went to
crazy
London.
sometimes with
And,
a White
and
Claw.
yeah, and now that I live in North Carolina, I'll fly to Florida for $40, and then fly back for $40, and like go to a Marlins game, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing in town?" I'm like, "Nothing. I came to see the Marlins lose."
Bro, we were talking about it earlier. You rolled in, and you went. You had a Padres game scheduled, and you happened to be at one of the sickest fucking games this season against the Nationals when Profar was getting heated. Machado had to step in. There was just shit talking galore. The benches
Yeah.
were cleared. Like, dude, you got it, and you're a huge baseball nut too.
Yeah, we scored. I was like, yes. And I was with one of my best friends, like childhood buddies from Miami. He lives out here with his Groms. We went to the game with him, and he was like, watch what's going to happen right now. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's
Oh,
like,
you knew it.
like, watch, there some beef is about to go down. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't, I saw the game the night before, but I didn't think it was a big deal. I had no idea what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, I just saw the walk-off double, and I was like, oh, sick. That was amazing. It was a great comeback. They came back from down 3, But he called it. He was like, watch, like some shit's going to go down now because it's the first inning. You don't wait till the 5th inning. That's Bush.
Right?
You're like,
Yeah.
and dude, lo and behold, before the first pitch was thrown, benches cleared, and I was like, "What in the world?" My kids were like, "Poppy, what's going on?" I'm like, "Son, I can't explain it to you right now. You wouldn't understand. It's unwritten rules of baseball. Like,
Bro, well, you know what the lesson is? If you're a catcher, don't talk shit to Profar.
yeah,
Just don't do it.
you heard that, Will Smith."
Oh, he even called him out, dude.
Calling him out, saying he was irrelevant. Come on, man.
Mr. Irrelevant is now carrying the team right now. As far as this episode, the time of this episode is concerned, Machado stepped in. He's doing Machado. What Machado does is when nobody else can do anything, like the team steps up. That's kind of cool.
MVP.
MV Profar.
MV
Our buddies over at Kaplan and crew, they made these badass shirts. And as soon as it happened, like they were quick on it. And it's just like Profar and it says MV Profar. And they made a bunch of shirts and they got it dropped. They went to Petco Park and the guy that made the shirts dropped them off and they got delivered into the locker rooms and stuff. So I don't know if these guys are gonna be wearing the shirts, but Kaplan and my boy Alex over there were quick on the draw.
No
Profar,
shit.
hey, well, dude, Profar is not getting is the guy right now. You know what I mean? He's not the guy, but he's the guy.
Yeah, he's carried the team the whole season so far.
Oh yeah,
He was signed to a $1 million contract.
that's a
Can you believe
bargain.
that?
Right there.
I mean,
Can you believe that? And he's funny. The dude is
Yeah.
fucking
I make $1
funny.
million.
What's your grand slam?
yeah.
Juan. Dude, but you're a big baseball nut. In fact,
am,
we were just
dude.
talking about that a little earlier. Dude, you're like legit on a fucking baseball team. Like you guys travel, you guys fucking have rival. Like, tell me a little bit more about your baseball team because what is it? What league is it? Like, what is it? What the hell is this?
So, since I moved to California, I moved in 2001. I went and saw my cousin play who he's in the Phillies organization now. He's in AAA now, but he's been in the big leagues for 5 years. He played behind Posey, behind Sean Murphy for the A's, and behind Tyler Stevenson for the Reds. And now he's in the Phillies organization. Phillies are stacked with catchers. But anyways, I went and saw him play in college, and I was like, man, this is amazing. Like, him and my other cousin Kevin were playing against each other. And I was like, fuck, I really miss this, man. Like, I played catch with one of them, and I was like, feel good. Like, my arm's still solid, you know.
You play a lot of ball, like in high school, and
I did. I played like 1 year of high school ball, and then it was like the Miami politics, and never, like, I was just like, forget this, man. I got into surfing, and so I just started traveling to Costa Rica and like getting better at surfing, and
Right.
just gave up on baseball and didn't start playing till after I saw my cousins play. And at the time I was 33. So I started playing baseball when I was 33 again after like a 14-year hiatus. But at 33, you're still a freaking stud, dude. Like, you're still like, you know, you still got some power, you know, like
stud right now. What are you talking
hey.
about? Yeah. Silver Fox.
But so I started playing, and dude, it was amazing. I hit the ground running, and you know, I'm from Miami. We learned the style. We know how to feel the ground ball with style, and like, hey, if you don't have the skills that young buck over here has, you may as well have the style and fucking like confuse people into picking you instead of young buck.
Your name is pro Juan Marante. That's what an announcer practices, saying your name before they get into the big leagues. They're like, Juan Marante. That's a good baseball name.
Oh yeah. So yeah, man, I just, you know, I joined the men's senior baseball league here, 18 and over, and just played here, metal bats for a few years. Hit my first dingers ever in my life.
Really?
Yeah, as a grown man. Yeah, when I was 18, I was like 120 pounds, dude. Like, now, you know, 33, 185 pounds.
Hey, you can still crack it.
Patrick.
You can still crack it. You can still crack one, bro. I've seen you, bro. I follow you. I mean, obviously, you're my buddy. I follow you. And I'm just like, dude, this guy, you play, man.
I hit very scary ground balls to short. They're like, ay, Dios mío.
They don't even know Spanish. They're saying, ay, Dios mío.
They just do the ole, and you're like, oh, there it is. I got a single.
But you were talking about the team that you're playing with, and I'm just like, I was asking him, Rick, I was like, dude, so, you know, I don't know. I thought it was like Vavi or something, like some weird pickup thing. Dude, these guys are legit.
No,
Like, you guys are sponsored.
a seriously legit team. Well, the sponsor team I was telling you, well, this team's sponsored too. I played for the Tulsa Rumblers, sponsored by Danny Boy from House of Pain. That team was amazing. Awesome squad. Love those dudes. Now I moved to North Carolina. I live in Raleigh. I joined another team of friends that I met while we were traveling to the old Bull Durham Stadium where they filmed the old movie. So we were there playing, and I met all these dudes. And then like a year later, I hit them up through Instagram, and I was like, hey, I'm moving to Raleigh. And they were like, you're on our team. And I was like, sick. I'm like, because these guys are amazing. They're called the Carolina Kudzu. I'm wearing the hat right now. Like, these dudes.
Better put it down so they can see it. What does that mean?
Dude, it's we're invasive. We grow. We're like, we take over places because that's what a kudzu is. Kudzu is a Japanese plant, and it got introduced to North Carolina.
Like a Japanese weed.
It takes over, like when you're driving in the South on the freeways, all these gigantic 200-year-old trees are covered in the thing. Like, it's like a forest of like.
Is it illegal to, like, if you get caught with it, like,
No,
internationally?
you can't smoke it, but it's definitely a weed.
No. What I mean is, like, you know how, like you can't bring in certain fruits sometimes. Because
Yeah.
it might carry some sort of
It's
fruit
like that.
fly. Like, you can't carry this thing because it's gonna take over.
Hey, so in 1876, somebody brought it potted from Japan and introduced it at some kind of fair. I don't know the exact story. You may have to look that up. But anyways,
we're gonna go with your story.
they planted
I'm gonna
it,
change
and it
Wikipedia
just
after
took
this.
over. So anyways, my buddy Joseph, who's an amazing sign painter, our team is full of talented
Artists.
artists, individuals. They're all like woodworkers, like they're all like legit human beings, like nicest dudes ever, and they're ballers. Like anywhere from 20, I don't know who the youngest person is, but we definitely got some 20-year-olds on the team.
Okay, all right.
And
all
I'm
right.
the oldest guy at 48.
You show them what's up though once in a while.
I have to, yeah. I got to be like, what's up in
Banger.
that hole?
See
You're
that
like,
ground? You see that grounder? That shit would have killed you.
yeah, so I've been playing with these guys now, and like, dude, it's such a fun group, and like, sometimes in the Sandlot community, some teams, we play a lot of teams from different states. Some teams are going to be amazing. Like they're like, they should be like, they're probably like JV, like college players. And then some teams are just like fun, like neighborhood, like gangs that get together and they're like, dude, let's go, and it's a very inclusive league. It's like
But Sandlot is nationwide, like this thing.
nationwide. San Diego has a team called the Avocados. LA has a few teams. It's in for the most part, every state has a Sandlot team now. Those are baseball teams that don't want to play in a league. So they just do this, and you could drink beers. Like, I've been known to hit a triple, and then when I get to third, somebody brings me a Miller Lite, and I'm like, hey, and then I run home with the Miller Lite.
Rick, we're in. You don't have to be good, right? Or
Yeah.
You have to kind of be good.
No. So when
It sounds like you're going to have to be good.
Hey, when we're not playing, we do pickup baseball on Saturdays at certain fields, and people just show up, and we do barbecues, we drink beers, super like chill. Like no one should be nervous. Like, man, I haven't thrown a baseball in 10 years. Like, no, you just show up. So the team I joined, the Kudzu, my buddy Joseph, started it with a few friends, Mike and Brian, and then they, dude, we have so many amazing unis. We're like, we're taking this baseball cosplay to like the next level. Like we got City Connect unis, we got alternate home, alternate away. Like we got like 5 or 6 unis that we're like,
Dude, I swear to God, when I see it, and when you guys all start following the Kyle, you'll see it too. You do. You look pro. You look like the Warriors sometimes. I'm like, dude, these guys just are gonna spill into an alley and beat people up. It's like you guys are legit. That's why I was kind of like, you got to be kind of good at play. And so when you were telling me like, no, man, it's all fun. I'm like, well, you guys treat it really, really, really professional, but it still has a veneer of.
But we also
fun.
like, there's a lot of players on our team that didn't play a lot, and like, just from coming to every Saturday pickup game and being on the team for a year
You're getting
or
better.
so, next level. It's from like some players from, I mean, not just on our team, like on every team I've seen, like every team in the Carolina League, I've seen them like grow and get like exponentially better. Like you're like, holy moly, like every game is a challenging game. It's amazing, like I love it, dude. And everyone, it's a family. Everyone treats each other with respect.
Did you grow up watching a lot of baseball? Was your old man?
I did, yeah. We were a big baseball family. I was telling you earlier, my cousin's in the big leagues. He's in AAA right now, but he goes up and down.
Yeah, but from my kids.
Oh yeah. I didn't play in a league for a long time, but I grew up like I had the style. Like if you're playing baseball in the neighborhood, you gotta have the style. So like I knew how to throw.
What is that? What do you mean by that style? What do you
when
mean?
you feel the ball, you're like you feel the ball and you take a few steps and do a pump. And then throw it nice and stylish instead of like a robot. You're like,
Right.
No, you're like selling the vibe. You're not just.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that.
You
that
had
was
to because in Miami everyone was amazing. You're talking about Dominicans, Venezuelans,
Cubans.
like dude, everywhere.
Dude,
you're
you want to
like,
know something funny, real
who
quick?
are we gonna pick? Yeah.
Dude, you want to know something funny? So, I had the luxury of going to Cuba with my old man pre-embargo lift, right? And so the guy that was a good friend of my dad's happened to be one of the oldest cab drivers in Havana. And so he just knew everybody. He knew every place and stuff like that. So we go to the square one day. We're in Cuba and we're just driving around. And I kid you not, dude, there's like the park and it's full and everyone's yelling at each other. Dude, like umpire and a coach. Like yelling at each other, being fucking like flamboyant and stuff. And I was just like, holy shit, like some shit's going down. Like this is political. What are they doing? And so the cab driver, he goes, no, this park, this is just for baseball fans. I'm like, what do you mean? No. You only come to this park to argue and talk baseball. And I go,
that's amazing.
Dude,
so there wasn't even a game going on.
No, you just go. And like people go to Times Square or whatever, to a Central Park to play chess. They come in to talk shit about baseball, and it gets so heated every day. And they yell, but nobody fights. It's just they're just very passionate. And I was like, oh man, there's a reason why these certain like island cultures and their baseball are so just passionate and good. They just love it to the core of the game. They're yelling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's gonna punch him. He's like, no, he's not.
No,
Nobody
it doesn't
fights him.
happen. And you know what? I think I'm sure it happens in every culture, but I'm pretty sure it's a Cuban thing because me and one of my best friends, Fernie, will be playing anything from cornhole to dominoes or yeah, anything like that. Unos. And we're like, no, you're fucking wrong. And we're like in each other's face, you know. And my buddy Rizzo, who was my old roommate.
Rizzo already sounds like he's gonna argue about
Rizzo will fight.
shit.
Rizzo will fight over anything. Like,
The dress is blue.
yeah. Me and Rizzo would get in each other's face like playing dominoes, and I was like, "You cheated, man! You've been holding that shit." You're like,
Dude, there's something, I don't know about you and what you think. Maybe this is your life too. I don't know. There's something really romantic and kind of cool. Like when I see video clips of like just people cussing each other out in New York, like they'll just stop their car like, you fucking piece of, hey, you know, fuck you. And they're like, and they just know that they're not going to get in a fight.
Yeah.
It's just like a New York interaction.
Yeah.
And then they just get in their cars and they leave and I go like, that's kind of cool. I mean, that was a little bit much, but it was kind of,
yeah,
it's kind of cool. Like you just know that they're just passionate.
I like the one the New York one where they're like doing the flipping each other off, and then they just keep going like that, like right in each other's face, and they never throw blows, but they like flipping each other off, and then they just walk off, and then as they're walking off, still, and it's like, what just happened,
Dude? Here, you go to PB and you look at somebody the wrong way, and you're about to fucking get fucked up.
There's
Like,
a lot of
over-
UFC fighters here, or
You
one.
gotta watch out for those cauliflower ears,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
You know what? I think that's a good thing.
yeah.
I think that more
It's a
MMA.
signal. You're like, ooh,
No, but I just like the influx of MMA here in this town because
yeah,
you've seen a lot of people stop fucking around because they saw their buddy get just axed, you know,
Yeah.
like fucking armbarred or choked out. And a lot of military presence mixed in with a lot of MMA fighters. There's a lot of testosterone going on around here,
I
but
know.
they each have like, hey, don't fuck with me. You don't know where I'm at. Don't fuck with me. You don't know where I train. It's kind of cool. It's almost like keeping the peace. Like everybody has a gun. I'm like, all right. No, nobody.
dude. I was at La Paloma Theater in Encinitas,
Uh-huh.
and there's a bar right next to it. I can't remember the name of the bar. This was when I was still single and everything, and I was hanging out having a beer watching these two Marines go at it, and I swear to God, they were so huge that the bouncers didn't even step in. These dudes fought for like a solid 2 to 3 minutes, and like, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but a 2-minute fight's like a long fight.
That's a round.
It's a long fight. And they were fighting on the cement, slamming each other, body slamming, punching necks, punching each other in the face. They basically stopped fighting and like kind of like hugged each other and like, and then I don't know if they got let back in, but they certainly got a beer and they like walked off somewhere and like,
Bro.
and I was like, what the fuck?
Bro,
just happened?"
bro. So there's a few stories of like road ragers that they pull off to the side of the road and they're about to go, and they both know like jujitsu, and then they get into like this side of the road thing, and then they end up like giving each other props. And like, dude, that was a sick move. And like, yeah, dude, you caught me right there. I didn't know. It's like, hey, we should go. Where do you train? It's like, let's go grab a beer. What are you doing right now? But yeah, dude, there's almost something kind of cool about it, man.
I feel like I would be like more of an 80s guy now, like
I'll
like
meet
in,
you at
like in the
Devil's
movie
Peak.
Bull Durham, like I would like say something and like try to punch someone and then they punched me and I land on a bunch of boxes or something and I was like, wow, that was a good one. And it's
Yeah.
like, let's go get a beer, you know?
Brother, I would love to bring back that culture of like where you settle things like at the top of fucking, or you what remember when they would play chicken in the
At
movies?
50 feet and everything is cool.
Mm-hmm,
Like if you're the guy that got defeated, admit it and just be like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
let's go get a beer. Like,
Whoa, Kenny, he really slugged you.
Yeah.
He really slugged you there.
like, yeah, he did.
Wow, yeah, he was really good. It's Cobra Kai shit, dude.
Kid's quicker than a box of cats.
Get out of my face before I give you a knuckle sandwich. No, well, that's good, brother. I know that you're keeping active out there. How's work? How's the art?
It goes through ebbs and flows. I'm doing some fun stuff for Rip Girl. They're one of my steady clients.
Yeah.
Thank God for them. Like I never.
You kind of gave them a flavor, and it's like, I don't know. I would say that you're indispensable at this point because it's like you are a you're a part of their fabric as far as a brand is concerned.
It feels like that. It's hard for a big company like that to just do stuff that they can't do or like are able to do. Like I've been trying to get on retainer or whatever with them just to because I do so much work for them, and like my vibe is definitely part of their vibe now, you know, as far as like the illustrations go, you know. But I can't complain, man. Like they're good dudes. Like my boy Sean that works there, he's fucking rad. Like he hits me up like pretty often and gives me packages. I've done stuff for like Hawaii, the Bahamas, like 10 t-shirt packages, and so he definitely keeps me going. And like, but you know, like when Rip Curls doesn't need anything, some breweries and some concerts, like I'm doing stuff for that, but
It's
not consistent enough, you know. Like we're in an era right now where like there's so many like self-employed graphic designers that are talented, and you know it's a lot of competition. So
What do you think?
if you're hiring, I'm ready. Just anyone.
Gran
Like,
Tocayo is
Viagra,
ready to
fucking
paint,
blow
put a
dolls,
mural
I'll
on
make
your
6
wall, and I don't know.
I will paint your wall.
He'll paint your wall, dude. He'll paint the shit out of your wall.
Yeah.
No, you're good, brother. There's a reason why, like when me and Rick were looking for somebody to come up with the Boil Over logo, we both might have even said at the same time. I don't even think we might have even said anything. We just
that
kind of
was
looked
fun.
at each other. Like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. I'll call him.
That was fun. I'm sorry it took long. It was in the middle of one of those projects where I was like,
Oh, are you
I
kidding?
only draw. Like, no one hires me to do like, hey, can you do this little logo right there? Can you just draw that simple illustration? No, it's like all detailed stuff. So each drawing takes like 2-3 days per graphic. So it makes it really hard to jump from project to project in a single day, you know, unless you've reached a certain like delivery point where you could be like, okay, here's the finished sketch, let me send that off. In the meantime, while I'm hearing back, I'll jump on another project, you know. And like,
Well, that also just tells whoever you're working with that you're all about what they want. You're
Yeah.
not spread so thin that, you know, you're go ahead, I'll tax it on. I have 8 other things going on, and you kind of hear that or you find that out, and you're like, well, how much attention is he really putting into my thing? You know what I mean? The reason we went with you is because, one, we loved your work, but it has attention that you can kind of feel to each of your pieces. Nothing that you've ever created seems rushed.
oh no, I can't do that. If I rush it, I've learned that if you try to rush stuff, it makes it worse because then you have to circle back and redo the shit. Like I would, you know, every time I've tried to cut corners, it's like don't do it. Just go at it slow, take it, you know, like it's better to like knock it out right than have to go back and edit. Just like we were talking about baseball stadiums, like it's easier to just knock one down and rebuild it than like let's say Fenway Park is a piece of shit with like terrible seats. Like you can't just knock down an area and then rebuild it and put new seats. It costs more money sometimes to rebuild something that like you want to keep standing as opposed to just leveling the whole thing. So it's kind of the same way. I was like, if you go down the wrong path because you're trying to cut a corner, it's always bit me in the ass, you know. Like I've always had to just go back and hit the drawing board and like pretty much redraw or reconcept a graphic, you know. Like
And the I don't know, maybe you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but if you do cut that corner, and let's say you're so good that even if you cut a corner, the client would still be happy with it, but you always know.
I do, and luckily I work with I like most of my clients I've been working with for a while now. They know, they're honest too, so they'll be like, dude, like this is a sick drawing, but like I feel like we need to have this guy doing this instead of this. And I'm like, you know, when I was younger, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how are you with
you know, like,
criticism like that?
no, but now I'm like, I take a step back. I'm like, okay. And I look at it and I was like, yeah, let me just look at it and like just let it sink in and see, like, I'll take what you're saying, you know, like to heart. And like, and for the most part, they're usually right. Like, and then the graphic turns out to be fucking gangbusters. It comes out amazing because of something they said, you know, and that's the power of a good art director.
Do you ever say no? Do you ever say, look, man, I know what you're trying to say, but This is kind of like that, or is it you're pretty professional in the, hey man, you want me to create something for you, and I want to make you happy. That's just kind of where we're gonna go.
I don't say no if I'm already like halfway into a project. I'll say no to clients if I hear out what their pitch is for a project, and they don't know what the budget is and they don't know what they want. I'm like, dude, I ain't got time to like
Yeah.
concept something for you. That's
Yeah.
hours you could charge for, because if I go online and I'm concepting like their theme, I need to get paid for that. That's an hour or 2 hours that I'm like looking for inspiration to put together a mood board for them. That's stuff you have to charge for. And a lot of clients are like, well, we're not going to pay you for stuff you're not giving us.
For sure.
And I'm like, you guys don't understand. I'm like, I'm not on salary. I'm not making money anyway and knocking out killer graphics. I'm like, like there's a process to it. I don't just like you listen to people and then invent a graphic.
Yeah,
No, man.
yeah.
You want Frankenstein surfing at like Mundaka? I'm like, I don't even know what Mundaka wave looks like. I have to look up what Mundaka is, and I kind of know what
And you got
Frankenstein.
to charge for that research.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like when you were doing our logo. I was kind of like, I was trying my best to give you all that stuff, but I also, in a weird way, I was just like,
Yeah, cut
like,
it loose.
like whatever the
do
fuck
your
you do is
thing.
gonna be sick, dude. Like, in a weird way, and whatever it is that you had to do to come up with what you drew. And I saw some of the concept. I think we shared a little bit of your concept. You shared it actually, and then we
Yeah,
reshared
it was like five different things.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's so sick, and I want to use all of them. But what we actually ended up with is so dope.
Yeah, I
fucking
love it.
It was perfect. It was totally Tocayo. It was totally SoCal. It was totally us, dude.
The
It was
beer
great,
hops,
right? Like, I loved
the
it.
beer hops hanging out with with these guys in front.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
dude. Yeah. No, and so like when we came when we came in here, it was your first time at North Park Fall. You saw Honky Conger stuff outside.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw Dave stuff. You came up to us like, dude, this is awesome, because Dave, the guy that owns this spot, is a graphic designer. I'm surprised you don't know him. Honestly, I thought you might have already. You guys, Dave knows everybody, and you know everybody.
Yeah,
so
I
was
must
like,
have moved out of San Diego at the wrong time. Like I had to move out for my.
But this has always screamed like your vibe, dude.
Oh,
Like, this is
absolutely,
your
yeah.
jam. And Dave has a lot of art shows here too. So you gotta,
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta connect you guys.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Guys,
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely.
Because
and I'm a
do
big
so-
fan of Honky Kong, obviously.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I got the Honky Kong.
Look at that.
tattoo.
Let me see it.
It's a Cuban revolutionary soldier, the ones that killed off the Spanish. Like.
Bro, that is so sick.
And he knew my whole story coming from Cuba, so he was like, dude, I'm going to draw around it and leave the scar showing. So, like.
Wait, hold on. I didn't know. Okay, the
Yeah,
scar's
I
a
think I
thing.
told you the
Oh,
story of like
yeah.
when I came to Scarface.
Yes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honky's dope. I've always thought about getting a piece from him. Like I saw, he's done just like
He's
done
such a
this
nice
Anthony
human
Bourdain
being.
one that
He's
that I saw.
hilarious, dude. That dude's funny as hell, too. He's always calling people sweet cheeks or,
Wait,
like-
wait. Big trouble, bro. We need another beer.
Yeah.
You were talking about how North Park, you were like, damn, dude, it's fucking changed. Oside has changed.
Absolutely.
Oside has changed like crazy.
Dude, Oside,
Vista,
that
like all these
strip,
places
yeah,
have
the little
changed.
strip right there by the beach is so rad.
It is rad.
So many restaurants and breweries. I'm like, man, like, yeah, I had a good surf session. My friend Becky came out too. She was another Miami friend that came out like 20 years ago. I taught her how to surf.
No way.
Now she surfs better than me. I'm like,
That's
damn you,
sick,
Becky,
bro.
Becky.
Dude, fucking Becky just killing it out there. Getting
Shredded-
pitted, bro.
Shredding the
Getting
darn,
pitted.
making me look bad.
Dude, it's so great to have you in town, man. You got a lot going on over here, but your soul is so SoCal that
It's
it's
so
fucking-
SoCal,
It's nice
yeah.
to come in, and it's almost like a little pilgrimage for you.
I lived longer here than I did in Florida.
Yeah, I
where
know. I
was
remember we
raised,
were talking about
like,
last
it was
time that you were
crazy.
on the show. But you have a good thing going on. Your family's great. You have a lower property tax, I bet,
Yeah. Raleigh, don't move there, Californians. It's terrible.
because it fucks it up.
Don't do there.
He's
It's-
already trying to warn him.
It's so bad, man. It's so hot. Like you don't want it. The beaches are so far.
The new Austin, he said. I just
It's
totally
amazing.
derailed his
It's
fucking
it's
thing.
amazing out there.
I might, dude. You talked it up, dude. I might fucking go.
I love it. Dude,
They have
come
a
and
friendly
visit. I got a
burger?
spare room. You guys can crash. Like, Yeah. We'll do
What is it
a
about
brewery
it?
tour.
What
like,
is it about the spot? What do you see in it that you're going, this is going places?
I've traveled to a lot of the cool cities, mainly for work, for inspiration trips or whatever. It's got a taste of Austin, like Austin in the baby steps, like before it blows up.
Before Rogan moved over there?
There there's mad construction going on, so they're planning on expanding the city like tenfold. Like there's construction all over the city, all around it in any direction. It's just like the same. Like I live in one of those cookie cutter community houses, but it's
Weeds. You
badass.
ever remember the show Weeds?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, like everyone's just mowing their lawn at the same time. And
Hell yeah, I got a
everybody in
hybrid.
unison, honey, I'll see you later.
Oh yeah, I got a hybrid so I can creep up on fools without them hearing me. I'm like,
Did they bring you when you moved in? Did they bring you a Jello mold? No, they were like,
they're like, welcome to the neighborhood.
we're so
Make-
happy to have.
Make sure you use true green on your lawn and mow that shit. If not, you're gonna get
Bob
Yeah.
wanted me to tell you to make sure that you always, you trim the weeds.
Yes.
And he here. They're so nice. There's something nice about
I
it.
know.
There's
It's
something
cool.
really boring about it, but there's also something.
I'm
really
not
cool
gonna
about it.
complain. I live in a house that would cost like 1.5 out in Cali, and it was not anywhere near that. And it's
You have
in
a yard.
huge
Lucky
yard.
you.
Yeah,
I
a
love that.
huge
We got another
yard,
yard.
trees, green belts. You could get on the bike trail and ride through my neighborhood. That's like about 16 to 18 minutes in a car outside of the city. And you could ride the green belt all the way into the city and to the college and to anywhere. Like
Bro.
the green belt system, the greenway system goes all over the place.
Bro, hey Rick, he lives in a town that they still have like a bully, like a high school, like Biff. Remember from Back in the Future?
Oh yeah.
Like where they still have like that one bully in town that everybody
Yeah.
knows. That's actually kind of cool, bro.
Yeah, it is
Honestly,
pretty rad.
It seems pretty pleasant.
I'm about to get an e-bike so I can hit those trails and just go on the
Look
the
at
brewery.
you, dude.
I'll do the brewery
You went
tour
hybrid,
and then, yeah.
E-bike.
E-bike,
Look
dude.
at you,
E-bike,
dude.
you don't get pulled over on an e-bike if you're in the woods, dude. Only deer and rattlesnakes will get you. That's it. Like,
My God, that's not West Virginia.
Yeah.
You're not in West Virginia.
I'll put some tassels on that thing on the bike trails.
bring, bring, bring me a basket, a nice
Yeah,
little basket
with my music playing.
with
Dude.
organically sourced quinoa.
Oh yeah,
salad bowls.
Quino, yeah.
Look, you're a changed man. You change. You know what? You get all that primal aggression out on the baseball field. That's what it is.
Dude, I-
when you get home, you're back to watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, dude. But you know what? I'll tell you what. Like the main thing is that life is chill. Like
Good for
I'm
your
not gonna
health.
lie.
It's good for your health.
I'm very nostalgic of this place. Every street I drive past here, I lived here for a long time. Every street I drive past here, I have memories. I'm like, oh, I got pulled over there. Oh, I got thrown out of a window at this bar. Oh, like every place is very nostalgic. But the traffic here is reminds me of like LA now. Like I don't remember traffic here being that gnarly, like
yeah, it got gnarly, brother.
dude, I
It's
was just
getting
trying to get from the freeway here through like the outskirts of Hillcrest, and it took me like 20 minutes just from the freeway to get here.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on here? There's no way around it either. I was like, give me an alternate route. And I was like, nope, they're all the
'cause-
same. I'm like,
Because
damn
there's
it.
too many cars on the street because with all these bike lanes, everyone's looking for parking.
We need
most
more-
of your traffic is people looking for parking.
Yeah. We need more of those one-wheeled like skateboards, dude. Everyone get on one of those one-wheelers.
wheels. Hey, those things are pretty dangerous.
Those
Did
things
you know
will
that?
fly you into the trees,
Dude.
dude. Like,
Dude, Colby is like a one wheel. Like he started like a gang. Honestly, like
With, like, vests
Dude, no,
and
do you
shit?
remember?
Like-
Critical mass.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh,
Yeah, on the
shit,
bikes, like-
critical mass is here, and it's just like this crazy, like just a stampede
Of one-wheelers now.
Dude, he did that for like one wheelers, but I guess he was telling me that those things are super gnarly. Like
Oh my
you can
God.
eat it. Like you know what else was pretty
I can
gnarly?
tell you that. I've been on one once.
Did you fall?
I did. Yeah. I rode it for a hot minute and I was like, oh, I got this. This shit's cake. And then I flew off and rolled into the grass. Luckily, I landed nice.
Bro,
Like,
bro.
I know how to roll. The
Oh
skate
yeah?
roll.
Yeah. You want to know another thing that was super deadly? I didn't know it was segways. You remember those segways, dude? people would fucking. I remember like at least 5 times I'd be driving, like when there was a lot of them around. You could like rent them and stuff like that. I'd drive, and like 5 times in 4 months, there's some person laid out like a chalk, like when you trace them in chalk, and there was like concerned pedestrians, like, and there's a crumpled Segway like a few feet away. And I was like, they ate it. They
Dude, the dude, I don't know if this is true or not, but the dude that invented it also drove off a cliff on one.
Yeah, and,
that is not funny.
and he died, I think, right?
That was
Whoa.
real. Though.
Yes,
that was for real.
I think
really?
that really happened. Yes.
Oh my god.
No way.
What are the like? Isn't it ironic? Don't you
Dude,
like,
the guy that invented cigarettes fucking
Yeah.
getting lung cancer.
poor dude.
Well,
Poor guy.
honestly, like no.
I hope it was like a sick
it's
cliff with
tragic.
like a nice view.
Never.
I mean, God, I'm
His
sorry
glider's
to,
point.
I don't want to offend the Segway family, but like,
Hey,
you
bro.
know, like,
Hey, bro. Listen. You died on your own. Like you died on your shield. Like that's what you were about. You died. It's kind of like those red extreme sportists or extreme sports goers.
no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guys that wear the fucking squirrel suits and shit. Look, if you die in one of those, it's tragic
I
and
hate to
it's
say it,
sad.
but
But
you brought it.
you
to
went
yourself.
hardcore.
Yeah, you're hardcore.
And I wouldn't say that the Segway is
It's hardcore?
It's being sponsored by Red Bull, but if you think about it, and you
Yeah.
think about everybody that's wiped out on a Segway and like gotten like traumatic head trauma or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Maybe Red Bull should start treating Segway riding as an extreme sport.
Be pretty
deadly.
good. Be pretty sweet. Build a big ass ramp. Add some nitro.
The only problem,
nitrous.
the Nitro Circus.
Yeah. Well,
Pastrana needs to get up. But dude, the only thing about a Segway that sucks, for as deadly as it is that it looks stupid.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
dumb.
there's other things you can
lame.
use now. You don't need one anymore.
But it looks
you know?
lame.
Like, yeah, you don't need one anymore. It's like there's so many other things. You know. Like,
Yeah.
you got those Lime scooters. You could ghost ride into a bush when you're done. You're like,
Bro,
I'm
those things go
drunk
fast.
anyway.
Those things go
I know,
fast.
but when do you rent that? When you're fucking hammered. That's the only time you rent one. You're like,
100%.
yeah. So I'm like, oh, here's my destination. Toss that shit into a bush, and yeah.
Bro, I went way too fast. I bailed mid destination once because it was going a little too fast. So I went on the whatever those scooters, and I was just like, yo, like I almost crashed into like a tree or something, and I bailed. Like, I was like, all right, this is it. This is where I end my ride, and I walked the fucking rest of the way. I was like, I cannot do this, dude.
Yeah.
And then I see chicks in like high heels that are like sharing it with like 2 other chicks. They're all riding one in the street,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what are
Mini
you
skirts. You're
doing?
like, oh, this is gonna be
No, but, like,
bad.
they're on the street.
I
What are you
know.
doing?
I know.
This is wild, and it doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big. It needs to look cool if it's gonna be deadly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it needs to look cool. Like at least one wheels kind of look cool.
Maybe the e-bikes is the way to go. Like that's okay,
You're really making
you
a
know?
case for these e-bikes.
Dude, my boy has a Super 73. My boy Dan.
What is
On
that?
the beach. Oh, so he's my best friend that like lived out here in PB. He was the first dude I met from the East Coast in Pacific Beach when I moved here in 2001.
Okay.
He now lives in Carolina Beach, and that's who I stay with whenever I go surf. Like I'll go surf, and then we go eat peel and eats and drink beers, and I just crash at his house, and you know. His whole family's like best friends with my family. and-
Oh, sick.
yeah, so we go out there all the time, you know.
E-bike, but he has an e-bike.
He's
that's,
got
like,
a Super
souped up.
73 that's sick, bro. It looks like a dirt bike. And I'm like,
Oh.
oh, look at this. I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh,
Driving around, like, oh, shit, it's accelerated a little too fast. I'm like,
dude.
yeah.
I get the appeal of e-bikes.
Yeah.
For sure. I would like to have one.
Here's
Yes.
the question, because I'm not in that circuit. Do like real, I say real bike riders. Like do real like bike riders go like, oh, here come the. It's kind of like when you're riding the Razor scooters at a skate park. Is it one of those
Oh,
things?
Yeah. Well, no, it's different. Because the Razor scooters, I'm not trying to like upset any Razor
you're going
scooter
to.
riders, but man, Jesus Christ, like,
That's
it's
90%
definitely
of
still a
our
thing at the
audience,
skate
Jeff,
park.
Is Razor.
See,
scooter
like this
riders.
moment was sponsored by Razor.
If Razor wants to step up, let's go.
Hey, if there's a kid at the park and he's doing backflips while doing like 900 spins and then lands it and rides away, I'm like,
Props.
hey, I don't care what you're on. You just like did some shit, like some wizard stuff. Like, yeah.
Oh, those things are I've seen some pretty gnarly slams on
Yeah, I've
razors,
seen 'em
dude.
too.
But I've seen more slams of skaters into razor riders.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if the e-bike is one of those things where like, oh look, here comes Juan
No,
again.
you know what?
with
Everyone's
his,
got one now. Maybe at the beginning. Now there's so many e-bike companies. Before it was only like a handful of them. Now there's like a million e-bike companies. Companies you've never heard of. You can go on Temu and buy one for $500. It'll probably last you a year, but like it's the Temu version of it, you know? Like,
Bro, there's this. I know you're gonna know what I'm talking about. They're running rampant in Solana Beach and Carlsbad. They're like these weird bikes looking things that. Do you know what
like
I'm talking about?
like an
They look
elliptical
like an
machine, but on the
elliptical. Yeah, they're
street. Like,
ellipticals, but they're on the street. Have you seen them?
no, I haven't seen them.
They are the nerdiest, dorkiest, whack. Like,
Hey, but you get fucking fit, dude. Like,
sure. I think you lied. I think you know what I think you have one. You're already defending it. Yeah, but you know.
hey,
the
you know,
workout here is
hey,
insane.
you know, you
Bro,
got
I
to play
saw-
devil's
We were at
advocate.
Pizza Port in Solana Beach, and like I guess a gang of them rolled in. Like they all went out.
Where do you
for-
park those? Aren't they big?
They're pretty big. They're pretty
Yeah.
big. But the gang of them rolled in, and I was just like, it. Maybe it was the garb. They were like in cyclist gear, like compressed cyclist gear, and the helmet. It's not like a skate helmet. It's like the aerodynamic helmet that has like the hot
Oh,
thing.
nice,
It was
dude.
like,
Yeah,
like, dude,
that's
this-
that's
I
for
cannot talk.
hella speed. That's like for way, like when you want to go faster than your next elliptical guy.
yeah.
That's what you wear.
Bro, have you seen those, Rick? They're like elliptical. They're like elliptical.
I haven't
things.
seen those.
dude. Hopefully they're gone. Hopefully, hopefully they have been.
So do you have to like pump with your arms to like
Yeah,
move these?
yeah. It's an elliptical.
Okay.
But you know, it's kind of like a scooter bike elliptical. Instead of handlebars, it's like those things. And of course, Juan's like, oh, it's gonna be a gnarly workout, and
Yeah.
it might be.
Yeah.
But you look like a dweeb doing it.
It
Hey.
engages your core,
Yeah.
your deltoids, a little bit of the tris, maybe some of the forearm.
Us two over here with the calorie count
Yeah.
and like taking care of ourselves,
Uh-huh,
Jeff.
uh-huh.
We look at that stuff.
I will die an
Yeah,
early
yeah.
death. Thank you. I'll die an early death before I get caught on one of those geek mobiles that they call. I don't even know what they're called.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't even know what they're called. And anybody listening or watching, if you have one, and
please
you're
call
offended,
in and let us know.
get
Yeah.
rid of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it. There's no
Yeah.
need for it.
I
mean,
mean,
that
an
was the-
800 number on the screen.
Yeah. That was the other 10% of our audience. Those little elliptical riders. Yeah.
That's the
Razor
next-
scooter and elliptical riders. That's it.
One wheels I can get with. I even made fun of one wheelers for a little while
Yeah.
until I was in Pacific Beach, and they were carving down the boardwalk, and then they just went into the sand.
And then you're like,
And
wow,
then
that was
yeah, I'm like,
badass.
dude, that's
Like,
cool.
That motherfucker's going to get to the beach before I am.
Yeah, dude.
He's got his surfboard. He's probably going to roll off that thing and just jump in the water and start paddling. You're like, damn.
That dude was like a Navy SEAL of
I'm
like,
dragging a cooler, two kids, like pulling on
it was
my
a
shirt.
ship. It was a ship.
Poppy!
It was a ship. It's
Yeah.
like when when you see the guys that retrofit their coolers, they put a motor on their cooler, and they just sit on their cooler and they'll like, ride
badass.
around. You're like, what
Yeah,
the
is
fuck
that
is
bad?
that? And
Is
then you
that
see
bad?
it's a cooler, and you're like, that's genius.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah. I suddenly want to like post up next to that guy.
That is innovation that I'm about.
Yeah.
The elliptical thing, that could suck.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you save that just for the gym or in-house
Yeah, why don't
setting.
you just
you know?
go to the gym and do that maneuver
Yeah,
in
you
private?
don't need that. Yeah. And so how do you feel about the skateboards that have the little gas on the thumb? You're like, I'm gonna go fast now.
How do you feel about it? Because I don't really. I think. What are you trying to do?
I don't know, man, because there's a lot of new things, and I don't know what to like. I'm not really a hater. I'm more of a okay. Prove to me that like this is needs to exist. Maybe that does because you're still technically skateboarding, but like
Okay, hold
like
on. Let me interrupt. Let me interrupt you really quick. This is the way I see it. I'm not a hater either. Just like I love people that have pets, right? But we all have kids, right? The one thing that I can't stand is when the pet person with no kids comes up and starts the conversation with you and they're like, oh, tell me about it. When Max needs to go for a walk and I'm exhausted and then they get into the conversation like they have a kid,
Yeah.
but they're pet parents. No offense, pet parents. I think it's a lot of work, no doubt about it. But this is the way I feel about the motorized skateboard guys showing up to the skateboard party. Show up. Hey, there's a hot dog for you, but you're gonna we don't have the same conversations. We have some things that we both do, but the frequency that I'm on is a different frequency. I won't say it's higher or this, but they're just different. So like when I'm going like, oh my God, my kid is, and then I tell a story, and they go, oh my God,
It's just
let me
like
tell
that
you
one
about
time.
that. My cat.
My cat, Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles, you won't believe what he did yesterday. And that's when I was like, oh my God, it was a milestone. You want to see the video? No, I don't want to see the video.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to
Thank
see the
you.
video. I love that you have the cat.
I think it's kind of like no, I think it's different because I think it's like almost essentially like a hack. With the e-bikes. It's a hack. You don't have to do as much pedaling.
Yeah, for sure. But that's why, like, what are you trying to get out of it?
Yeah.
But you know
That's
what
what
you
I'm
could
trying
do
to
to make it cool is show up to the party with like a 6-pack and then jump off and bring your knees up like a Toyota commercial.
Yeah.
And then keep the finger on the skateboard, on the gas for the skateboard and ghost ride that shit into a tree. And you're like, yeah. And everyone at
Dude,
the party's
yeah.
like, yeah.
No,
You know,
fair
you're
enough.
like,
Fair enough.
you just showed up and you just fucking like you're there to party when you do that.
Bro, 100%.
Yeah.
And dude, you can get me excited about most things. You can even get me excited probably about not the elliptical thing, but like that's where I draw the
Yeah.
line. But for the most everything else, I'm just like, that's pretty dope.
Well, I don't know if you guys ever did this when you were teenagers, but like I would roll up to the park where all my friends were playing. And you always got to wait for at least one parent to show up at home before you, like, it's like a relay race. You high five them and immediately go outside of your house, jump on your BMX bike and haul ass to catch like an hour of sun before the sun sets. And when you finally get to that park and you see your friends already playing 8 innings out of the 9th inning game, you're like, shh, ghost ride that mongoose and like run. You never even fall. You just run and like get your glow
fluid,
and, like get on the
fluid
field.
like
You're
a
Yeah,
transformer.
like it was all like meant to be. Like I think there's something in that.
I
think
like
that should be
I like
incorporated
like if
into
somebody
life.
that I'm talking to that has the motorized skateboard, and he goes, "Yeah, dude, I just get places way faster than you." I go like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I guess, yeah, fuck yeah, you're right." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even the e-bikes, yeah, I don't have to fucking do all that stuff. I just
Yeah,
I
you
get
don't
on the
have to
bike
deal with-
and I go to. The only thing that I'm going is like, well, what are you trying to do though? Don't understood. But we're not having the same conversation if I'm talking with my skater boys, right? See you later, boys. And then you're gonna come in and be like, hey, dude, I know, right? Like when you hit your shin, like, bitch, you did not hit your shin. You've never hit your shin. You've never hit your shin. You're not trying
Drop
to do
in
shit
on
with
that thing.
Yeah.
Take that thing on top of a ramp.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Do I want one? Absolutely. Do I
Yeah.
want a one wheel? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I want an e-bike? Now I do.
Do I want to see you drop in on a ramp with on one wheel? Absolutely. I want to see that.
Shit. Dude, 99.9 of the things that I've ever made fun of, I've met somebody that's really into them and has shown me that it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Except for the elliptical thing.
Hey, you know what's pretty cool right nowadays?
What is it?
After making fun of it for 20-something years?
What's up?
Disc golf.
Are you a disc golfer?
Oh, dude.
Well, you're a big beer
I
drinker.
hike like 3 miles a day now playing disc golf.
Can never get
with
into it.
beers. Yeah.
Can
So
never get
now
into
instead
it.
of just doing my hike, now I add throwing a disc like really badly. I'm like, oh, there it is. Oh no, it went into the poison ivy bush. I'm like, shit.
Wow,
Thank
what
God I
a
got this
pitch,
ground.
Juan.
You're like, let's grab that
Hey,
thing out. And,
wow, that was the greatest pitch in the world. You're
was
like,
amazing.
I hike. Instead of now just hiking, I have
Yeah.
to throw a disc.
Yeah, it's
all right.
amazing. Yeah. No, actually, I've gotten really good at it. I've only been playing it for about 8
That's
months.
where we were going, Rick.
I think maybe
Are you a par four? What are you-
maybe
what
I'm
are you-
gonna start competing on the on the tour or the circuit.
Morley
you
Field,
know.
bro. You got to take it to Morley Field.
Yeah.
Dude, you're in the land of disc golfers.
Yeah.
I never got into it. Did you?
I've
Have you
gotten
ever
pretty
played?
good.
I've played before, yes.
Hey, but you guys are still young, man. There's
Yeah.
plenty of time. I'm 48. There's
Dude,
still plenty of time.
Colby
Yeah.
has a disc golf course in his house, like
Yeah.
on his land.
I know.
I am buying a basket for my yard
To practice,
so I can move
like-
it around and
I like
practice
throwing
putting and
frisbee.
short range things.
I
yeah.
like throwing frisbee.
Yeah.
But you know what I like about throwing a frisbee? That it has like the glide component. Disc golf doesn't. Discs don't have that.
Dude.
Those are like archery. It's like archery.
No, it's like a golf club.
Yeah, like a golf club. There you go.
Like there's
yeah, different.
There's mid-range discs that when you throw them, one will go this way, one will go this way,
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they go in their
Oh,
own
dude,
direction.
yeah,
You
yeah,
just
dude.
gotta know how to understand the numbers.
I-
And then, dude, the art on them now. I'm trying to get into that. Like, hey, if anybody needs art on a disc,
Bro,
boom,
now
I
you're
create
talking.
stamps. They're called stamps. So there's a few companies that actually take like pride in like having their company be the art disc golf like brand. You know, like there's some companies that just put awesome names and the discs work really well. But then there's like a company called Thought Space that has like awesome art, like killer art, and a lot of other companies have killer art. They stamp them on the discs.
So they don't get all fucked up like the art.
No,
like
no,
you,
it's kind of like a heat. It's kind of like a screen
Oh,
print.
okay, yeah, like,
it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
come
yeah,
off.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
on. It's on, and then
like
they
putting
seal
art
it
on a deck.
Yeah, and then they seal it, and it's good. You know, and like, but that scene, dude, I've learned a lot about that.
Do you play golf?
I don't. I want to, but
You
I'm
do?
so bad at it. I am terrible. Like I'm okay at putting because of putts all across.
like
you know.
like mini golf. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
The
Yeah,
clown thing that goes like this.
I get down on the floor and I look at the ground and I see that like, oh, it's going this way and then
Uh-huh,
this way.
uh-huh,
I'm like,
uh-huh,
all right, I'm gonna hit it up here, and it's like when you're playing on the video games. You know, now driving, terrible. Everything shoots to the
See,
right.
again, I can't get into golf
people's
either.
houses,
I can't get
like,
into golf.
I know.
I just know myself too much. I like it, and I get obsessed with it. Like the few things
It's
that
expensive,
the
too.
few things that I do like, I'm really into, and it just so happens that they're not that expensive, except drinking. That might be the most expensive. That might be the most expensive like hobby, necessity, mandate, whatever in my
Yeah.
life. But like everything else is pretty affordable. Golf, dude. So many
It's
people
so
have tried to get me
crazy.
into golf, and I'm just like, can't do it.
Yeah.
I like Top Golf, dude. I went to Top Golf.
That's amazing.
That shit is
Yeah.
dope.
Just drinking beers, watching TV, and like,
You can make it Angry Birds. You can change it.
Oh,
dude,
dude.
the technology in that place is wild.
yeah.
Like it tracks the ball to a fucking centimeter. It was amazing.
Although there's, I'm going to tell you something about Top Golf. When I first show up, my first few shots are like pretty legit, and then once these guys start coming into play,
Yeah.
I'm like shanking all the drives into the little holes that are like 10 feet away. You're like, oh, I went in the hole. You know how hard it is to purposely make it in that hole?
It
I'm
is.
like,
It
I
is.
just did it. I'm like,
And all the good guys are always giving you props. Oh, dude, you know
yeah,
that's
was
crazy.
nice.
That's really
yeah,
hard.
That was super awesome.
But you know what they're
considering that
doing.
you swung for the hills and they went there, that
Yeah,
was
yeah. You know what they're
even better.
doing? They're like, oh, dude, no, bro, no, keep it up, keep
That
it
was
up.
sick.
That was
Yeah.
sick, dude. That was
Yeah,
sick.
we're filming you.
The same thing happens in regular golf, except you
Yeah.
might hit people.
yeah,
Like you might actually hit people.
yeah, yeah.
The only thing about regular golf that's different than Top Golf, for whatever reason, in regular golf, it's all good. You just drink Michelob Ultras all day. But at Top Golf, you get slammed with cocktails, fucking Sculpin IPAs by the liter,
Oh.
and it's like, okay, we're playing a different game here. And
Yeah.
that's why you get all fucking.
Well, that's why the
sloppy
parking
so
lots are
fast.
so comfy, so you can sleep in your truck for like 8 hours. You wake up and you're like, I have 28 messages from my wife. You're like, I'm here. I'm okay. Everything's good.
I'm
What do you
still
mean?
at Top Golf.
I just finished the round. And it's like, it's 11:30 at night. Shit, I'm coming home. I'm good.
Dude,
I'm like water. It's scorching hot. It's been in the sun all day.
dude, well, I went to the Top Golf in Vegas twice, and they had a pool. They had a fucking like they have dope shit like everywhere. They have bars that are like people go just to hang out at the bar. They don't even play. They're just like, oh, I'm at
Yeah.
the bar. I'm like this concept is awesome.
Yeah.
It is really awesome.
I like to find the
But I hate
rundown.
golf.
I like to find the rundown piece of crap golf courses. I hate to call them out by name, but
You can say it.
And and by Newport Beach, there's a great one
Uh-huh.
where you could buy a bucket of Coronas and like just go and hit a million balls, and not even look at where they go. You just hit them, and you're like, yeah, and like go back and take a swig, and like, yeah. And if you actually hit the dude that's picking up the balls, he like curses at you, and you're like, yeah.
Oh, dude, it's like Crazy
Hit the
Taxi.
dude.
Did you ever
Yeah,
play
he's
that
like-
game? And like just like you try to hit the guy in the
Oh
car.
yeah.
it's
Well,
awesome.
some guy I don't ever try because I know I'll miss him, but I've hit him on accident, and he's like, "Fuck you, man!" And I was like, "Yes."
Yes,
He told me to
that's-
fuck off. I was like, "That was
yes,
awesome."
Yes. I just met the guy that owns Sportsplex.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea that this existed. You don't know Sportsplex?
No.
That they play baseball there and everything. I thought maybe you might have already played
Yeah,
there.
it's like slow pitch softball fields as well as indoor soccer.
Where is it?
Yeah.
There's one in Santee. There's one in Poway. So I used to play at
okay.
the Santee one
Dude.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Legit. It's like a bar.
Yeah.
Like, they have beers. They have like.
You have to pay
bars.
you have to pay to get in, and they give you like a drink token. So you get that token, and you could go to the bar. and,
Because
like,
they
get a
know
drink.
it's like well, your first one's free, and then you're like, we got you, bitch.
They got you hooked.
Yeah.
They got you
Yeah,
hooked
yeah,
at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant. Like,
I'll tell you where I started hating golf. We were at so I was invited to a golf tournament here in San Diego. I think it was like the Farmers Open or something like that. So there was like famous golfers there and shit like that, right? And dude, there's beer places everywhere. So beer is just fucking the river is flowing, right? And at some point, I'm talking to my crew, my buddies that I'm there with. I'm talking, blah blah blah, and I just hear, shh, right? I'm just like, this can't be for me. It's like I keep talking. I'm pretty loud. And they're like, shh.
and you're
Like
like
somebody
what are you talking about?
somebody goes like, hey man, hey, shh, quiet. And I'm like, what do you mean, be quiet? Like I'm a grown man. What the fuck are you talking about? And then I turn around, and it's some lady that was working there. She's part of the team. I get it. And she was like, some guy was about to hit.
Oh.
And I'm just like,
Oh, there was like a legit tournament or something?
Yeah.
going on?
And
Oh.
fine, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I go, why do I need to be quiet though? Like, this is a fucking library. It's like asking people to be quiet in a bar. Like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, what's he's about to hit? A little respect kind of deal. I said, fair enough. I don't want to be disrespectful. But that's when I knew that sport is not for me. I like Happy Gilmore golf.
I like that.
I want that.
I'm going to go ahead and say that you're correct about that, because you know what? Like, yeah, I get it. That's part of the tradition. A bunch of golf people are probably going to hate me right now, but
I don't know.
do you know how much harder it is to hit a ball coming at you from a pitcher's hand at a violent speed while everyone in the stadium is screaming at you? And
Thank you.
tune that shit out and then hit a home run or just hit the ball at all.
Thank you.
This ball is not moving and it's on the floor. Who gives a fuck if you got the dude in the, like,
Brother.
like four
NBA,
like,
people bring they let people in with big ass cardboard faces so that they can go like this
Yeah.
and you're doing your fucking free
yeah,
throw.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
about
Like
that.
I think golf needs to step up and get
Basketball.
like,
Remember
it
basketball?
needs to come up to level with like all the other sports right now. It's been enough time.
Well, everyone's dressed the same. They all have they tuck in. People that
there's-
never tuck in.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people are tucking in some badass shirts, some badass polos. There's a few companies that
Travis
are actually
Mathew,
like,
yeah.
some companies are like trying to step their game up, and you're like, I like you, bro. You're trying. It looks nice. Like you can go from the course to like a wedding right after and be like, hey,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Not my kind of sport. Not my
Yeah.
kind of sport. Do I like going to?
I love the greens and the golf carts.
Yeah, I'll go drink.
I'll just caddy people around or Uber. I'll Uber. You're like, hey, you need to go to the next hole. Come on, jump in. It's like $2.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah. I'll do that all day.
yeah.
I'll do that all day. Just drink, and apparently you can just drink and drive, and nobody cares.
Yeah,
but
it's awesome.
but you're gonna shush a grown ass man, dude. If I saw, even if it wasn't me, if I saw somebody shushing you at a fucking game, I'd be like, this is a stupid sport. Like, this is a stupid environment. Why would you tell him to be quiet?
Yeah.
Like it's not even in a room.
And don't tell
It's
me
like in
tradition.
nature.
It's a stupid tradition if you tell me tradition. Like, no, man. Like, that's it.
Brother,
Those days
it's
are
the
over.
biggest
Times have
open-
changed.
It's the biggest court ever.
Yeah.
People are in a room in a stadium and not telling people. Hockey games are like, bah, 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 I hate you.
Yeah.
Banging on the walls and stuff like that. It's
Ladies
part of the-
flashing
Yeah, oh,
you,
yeah.
and then everyone's trying to find them
Yeah.
to give them contracts, OnlyFans pages. And
It works.
Yeah.
I won't say that I'm subscribed to any of them. But
yeah, I mean, they're trying to find the Hawk Tua girl, and like,
Whew.
Yeah,
dude,
she's
she
a
made like
celebrity.
$64,000 already, like in
she's a
like in
celebrity.
merch.
God bless her. I don't think any
She made a little joke.
bad things should happen to her. I heard she got fired from being a
She
teacher.
did.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it does suck, but I also understand that you shouldn't like.
yeah, it's out of context.
It's out of
Like,
context, but
you're-
that's fine. Like, all right, cool. I don't know. If I was a school district that had the hot Tua girl, I'd probably be like, hey.
I would be like home of the Hawk
Yeah,
Tua
yeah,
girl.
yeah.
On the sign, you're like, I want my kids to go there.
I would be like, hey, Courtney, listen, we got to bring you in. That was awesome. You're going places, kid.
Yeah.
But you also teach
You may
first
want to
grade.
tone it down next time.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like, give her a warning. Like maybe wear a mask. Like
Merit.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna have to give you a little suspension here because you made a joke about
wear a
spitting
mask
on
like Zorro, like nobody, or glasses like
Yeah,
Superman. Nobody knows
Uh-huh.
who Clark Kent is. Like it's,
You know what
it's,
the worst
it's
part
her
is?
only with glasses.
You know what the worst part is that those kids at that school probably go like, that's what it was. The meme was so
Nobody.
thing.
When I saw the video, I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know that it was about. Like
Oh, you got to spice it up.
Yeah.
Got to spice up your life.
yeah, I was like, dude, I just saw that shortened version. Like.
Well, you got to do that once in a while.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? I think it has an approval rate. It has a high approval rating.
Yeah.
I approve of it.
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's cool,
I mean, I
you
think
know,
I think it won.
Yeah.
Like if she was a third person in tonight's debate, she would win. She'd beat Trump. She'd beat Biden. Hawk to a girl.
Yeah.
She literally does have Hawk to a.
We got a special
Troy-
guest,
Troy-
Hawk to a girl. Come
Yeah,
on, come
yeah,
on.
Brother,
Just kidding. We,
So she's already,
next show.
She's already made like $64,000 on just a Hawk to a merch, and she just got picked up by the one of the biggest talent agencies in the United States. She's going places.
Hold on. We could provide pizza, flat top burgers, and some beer.
Beer.
Brother, what if there's this, and it's nasty, right? But like, what if like there was a thing where that's her moniker. She shows up, and like people are asking to like for her to spit on your hot dog or on the
I don't know
on the
about
pizza.
that.
Oh, dude, are you kidding? Are you kidding? With feet finders out there, with
Feet
like you
finders.
don't think somebody's gonna be like, hey, I want the Hawk to a girl, and we're gonna pay her $2 million. I want her at my party. All she does is just spit on things.
I saw somebody did the Tony Hawk logo with her face in the middle, and I was like, slow clap. I was like,
brother. Did you see the video that
Black Plague?
Black Plague?
Uh-huh.
Black Plague here in San Diego. Did you go? Did you end up going?
I haven't been. No.
Oh,
I was
you
gonna
didn't
go
end up going?
yesterday, but I
So
couldn't.
Jordan,
It was
Jordan.
closed. You gotta open earlier, dude.
Come on,
Come
Jordan,
on. Hey, there's
Jared.
a lot of people visiting here.
Let's finish this, wrap up this conversation, and then we could go to Black Plague.
Well, what time is it? I have a beer dinner that I need to get started right now in
Yeah,
about an
you were
hour.
telling me about the beer dinner.
Yeah, you're
What
right.
is
You're
all
coming.
that about?
You're coming with.
What is that?
It's right here. It's gonna be down the street. It's just a beer pairing, 3 sliders, 3 beers. I talk about it. We're all gonna be hanging out.
So maybe
okay. I
him and
wasn't
I
sure.
could go to Black Plague. You could go get set up.
Yeah, get the beer dinner.
It starts at 7.
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like an industry event where you're like, oh yeah, like.
No. You're invited. In fact, you're going.
I'm still full. What are we gonna eat? Are there gonna be
You
hors
can
d'oeuvres?
just hang out.
Like like blue cheese olives and some
Truffle. Anything with truffle.
Ooh, yeah, dude. Put
By the
truffle
way,
on anything.
friendly, if you're listening, Juan thought the burger had truffle in it, like
Little
black
bit,
truffle.
little hint.
Little hint.
Like
Yeah.
bloop, a
He
splash.
made it fancy.
And in 1983, they did have some truffles on that flat top.
By the way,
so
shout out. I think it's Rob from the Friendly. By the way, one of the guys that is like, I'll call him a chef because he deserves that. But for the Friendly, he's like a legit bona fide chef, like classically trained, and he works for the Friendly. It's this punk rock cyclist guy. He has just this cool. He has chops. I don't know if this still exists, so forgive me if I'm speaking out of school, but I do think that if you go in there right now and you shotgun the beer, you don't have to pay for it.
I'll be back.
Well, I know. All right, we're gonna wrap up here.
Yeah, that was enough.
Hey, straight up, right now, we'll go find out.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we'll go find out right now.
Jeff's
Listen,
gonna shotgun the beer.
brother, listen. Honestly, this has been one of my favorite conversations of all time. We covered a lot, Juan. We covered a lot.
Like a lot. We went from segways to Hawk Tua. Like shit, man.
Baseball.
What else can we talk about?
Yeah.
No, I want to end it with just honestly a little bit of bro love. We specifically sought you out for anything that we want done, like from an art perspective, because you're the man. I think you're the best. I think you are so fucking unique. And for anybody that's not already following El Gran Tocayo on Instagram, do yourself a solid and just go see his portfolio of work. Punk in the Park. You have your own Vans shoe, for crying out loud. Jesus Christ.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right, I forgot about the shoe.
I walk
God,
like
man.
they're white. I walk like they're white shoes.
Oh, dude.
Keep them from getting scuffed up. You know, like no, I'm
No,
kidding.
no.
I got a bag of pair.
Dude, you have a creative, like you're this weird fucking guy that just gets the vibe. Like every little thumbprint, because not all of it's the same. I just know like, oh shit, you did that thing that's really hard to do in art, which is you see something and you go like, oh, I already know that. I already know that's a El Tocayo.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I just know that that's your piece. You know, Honky Conger has it. All the greats have it. You're like, oh yeah, I can already tell you who that is. I already got it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you did something great there. I'm glad and honored. I think me and Rick are both fucking honored that you were able to create something for us. And dude, yeah, we're you still have a lot of work to do, buddy, for us. Because anytime that you're in town, brother, you're on the show. Anytime you just
Next
jump in.
time there's one of the musical things for the other podcast, I want to be the dancer, like
Yeah?
the Mighty Boss.
Yeah?
Just
Uh-huh.
just in the background. You're like, who is that back
We'll
there?
bring a tribal band, and he'll do the Hawk Tua dance.
Talk to a dance.
Dude, that's
no,
about
you know
to
what
happen.
we can do
Coin
is
it.
like the wall. I don't have to be in the image, but the wall, you backlight me so there's like movement on the wall, and it's just like skanking. You know, like, it doesn't matter if it's emo rock or whatever. I'll just skank.
Well, that's right. Hey, real quick. So what he was referring to was it's a offshoot of the Boil Over podcast. It's tangential to the show, and it's this new thing that we're working on. It's going to be called Hot Breaks, and Rick and our good buddy Raleigh is going to be behind the camera, and it's essentially, what would you call it? Is it a blend of the 91XS with
It's just a
Tiny
music
Desk.
session. Just a music session.
music sessions?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's gonna have some sick logos.
Sick
Kinda
logos.
Santa Cruz-esque.
Sick musicians. Sick logos.
Slasher.
Yeah.
Sick
So
times.
be on the lookout. Follow us because we'll be posting it on the Boil Over page. And our first artist, you already got a sneak peek, so you already saw it. But our first artist that we got for it, you're super
Low
sick.
volts.
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. It was beautifully done. We shot it at the other fall in Miramar, which is just a fucking oasis in Miramar. So be on the lookout. Again, man, thank you so much, dude. I can't wait to do more stuff with you. Can't wait to have more conversations with you. You're a fucking stud, brother. I fucking love
Thank
you to
you,
death.
sir. Thank you. You guys are freaking awesome.